It is the main workhorse for the domestic routes for Qantas. It is the Qantas Boeing 737-800.
This could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Review, where today we will be taking a closer look at the Qantas Boeing 737-800 in the 1 to 500 scale in the current livery. On the front of the box we have the Qantas and Herpa Wings branding. We also have a photo of the plane. Moving on to the back of the box, we have the same photo as the front of the box, and we are also provided with some information about the aircraft, where you can pause this video to take a closer look. Here we have it, the Qantas Boeing 737-800 in the 1 to 500 scale in their current livery. But before we take a closer look at this model, let's take a look at what this aircraft is doing for Qantas. This aircraft with the registration code Victor Hotel Victor Exo Alpha or VH-VXA was delivered to Qantas on January 2002, where it has stayed with Qantas ever since. Currently, this plane is grounded due to the ongoing pandemic. But before the grounding, this plane was flying out of Sydney to the likes of Melbourne, Brisbane and Perth, and it was also doing some international routes. Now, to give you a little bit of information about the Qantas Boeing 737 in general, Qantas operates 75 Boeing 737-800, and they are used for mainly their domestic routes. However, they are also used for the short-haul international routes to the likes of Nandi and New Zealand. But without further ado, let's take a closer look at this model. Starting off at the back of the plane, we have the glorious tail fin of the Qantas livery, which is found on all of their current aircraft. Moving up the back of the plane, we have the full registration code of the aircraft, the rear doors and the rear cargo doors. Moving up to the wings of the plane, we have the emergency exit doors, and just a bit further along we have the Qantas branding, and underneath that the Spirit of Australia printed on very nicely indeed. We are also provided with the front cargo doors and main doors to the aircraft. And just to the right of the main doors we have the name of the aircraft, which is Broome, which is a city in Australia. And then at the front of the aircraft we have the cockpit windows, which are printed on very nicely indeed. We also have the One World Alliance logo right next to the door. Now that we have looked at the fuselage itself, let's take a look at the wings. Now moving on to the wings, if you look closely you can see the flaps, slaps and spoilers carved out very nicely. We also have the full registration code of the aircraft on the bottom side of the wings. And if you look from the fuselage out to the far end of the wings, you can see the wingtips. Just below the wings of the plane we have the engines, which Herpa have decided to keep them all white, apart from the logo at the back of the engines, which matches the back of the plane. And if you look very closely inside the engines, you can see the engine fan blades, which is something I really like about Herpa, as they put a lot of detail into the engine fan blades. Now just below the engines we have the rear landing gear, and I have to say Herpa have done a very good job putting in a lot of detail. Moving on to the front landing gear, Herpa have also done a very good job with this as well. Now let's go to the summary. Moving on to the summary, and like always we are judging them off 4 key elements, the first being the box. Even though that this is an older release, I have to say Herpa's boxes back then were very good and had a lot of detail, so that's why I have to give it a 5 out of 5. Moving on to the realism of the model, or comparing the model to a real life plane, I have to say there are no real known issues that can be compared to the real plane, so that's why I have to give it a 5 out of 5. Moving on to the detail of the model, and I have to say Herbo have again done a very good job with the detail, although the thing that is letting it down is that the flaps, slaps and spoilers are not carved out very good, so that's why I give it a 4 out of 5. Moving on to the last and final element, which is the mould, and I have to say Herbo's mould for the Qantas Boeing 737 is very good. There are no real known issues with the mould, so that's why I have to give it a 5 out of 5, which gives this plane a total score of 19 out of 20. Also, I forgot to mention at the start of the video, I actually have 2 of these models. If you ask me if you should get the model, I would say that you should definitely get the model, especially if you are collecting Qantas planes, because it has a strong presence in the Qantas fleet. But without further ado, we are at the end of this video. If you liked this video, make sure you hit the like button down below, and if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. But without further ado, that's HB Aviation signing out for now. Also, if any of you have infinite flight, I am going to be doing a group flight next week. The details will be on screen now.